Hey guys, MBSC1 again. So 2 months ago I made a 3-month business plan video that you guys may or may not recall. I talked about a lot of things that I wanted to do in the next 3 months. So now we are 2 months in. It is the 27th of July right now. So tomorrow will have been exactly 2 months since the site was launched. I'm just going to kind of talk about how things are going, talk about what happened with the plan that we originally had and what our ideas are for the future. So if you guys recall from last time, I said month 1 we were going to spend a lot of money will be spent and a lot of expensive things will be bought, and that is so true. We spent a ton of money, a lot of our budget is gone. But fortunately, I did make top 16 at Nationals, so that $1,000 I'm getting, I'm putting almost entirely into the site, plus I have $300 that I'm going to invest from a previous investment that didn't work out, so I'm getting my refund from that. So we still have money. We got a lot of subscribers like really recently. We have 13 right now currently, so that's pretty good. Sick. We also have like 5 people that wanted to subscribe but we're having trouble and they're figuring it out, so we'll probably be up to like 18 in the near future within the next couple days or so. So things are going really well actually. So I covered merchandise a little bit in the last video as well. So we still have those 25 shirts and 25 mats. We don't have any new items, any new merchandise yet because we just don't have the money to invest in more because we haven't sold all the shirts and mats yet. But when that happens, we'll definitely make another order and start selling those once more. I think what we're going to do next time is, instead of just having the cutter tap on a black shirt, we're going to have some sort of design on the back. Not entirely sure what that's going to be yet, but we're looking at it. We also want to have like collared shirts, like more professional looking shirts, so that our contributors and the main admins of the site can wear those when they go to tournaments and things like that. Another idea that I had that was just kind of funny is me and a couple other guys on the Weekly Pro podcast. I don't remember who exactly made the joke, but it's like a take on Make America Great Again from Donald Trump, and we want to make a hat that says Make Toad Great Again because Toad is getting all these counters with Ranger and Vespa Queen's popularity and whatnot, so we're probably going to make hats that say Make Toad Great Again in the same style as the Donald Trump campaign hats. But the merchandise is totally doing what it's supposed to. We didn't expect to make a lot of money off the shirts and mats. We were really just trying to get the word out there like we said before, and that's totally working. People like Jay and Zach Lesage are wearing those to tournaments, and they specifically told me that people were asking about it and they were telling people about Cutter Tap and things like that. So the shirts and mats are doing what we want them to do. We just want to make some cooler designs in the future. And we were also planning on just selling them at a cheaper price in the beginning for the first month, but we're still selling the shirts for $15 and the mats for $20. We're not raising the prices just because it's more important that a lot of people have the shirts and mats than us to make money, in my opinion. So you guys can still get them for those prices. If you guys want one, you can leave a comment below or send me a message on Facebook or send an email to cuttertap@gmail.com. So, there's also a bundle deal. If you get them both together, you can get them cheaper, and I'll ship anywhere in the US for free still. The other goal of the first month was to get all the forms of media working well, and we've done that for the most part. Articles are all set. We have a working program. We upload articles on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We might change that to like Tuesdays and Fridays or Tuesdays and Saturdays just because the Pro Podcast goes up on Wednesday usually. So the way we have it right now is like there's content on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then there isn't a whole lot on the other days at times. So we kind of want to space that out a little bit more. But in terms of just having articles, having writers, and things like that, it's all working very well. The Pro Podcast is working well too. We have a guest every week. We have awesome guests, and the current weekly members are all really cool too. It's great content. We never really have trouble anymore. The only problem I'm having is that my computer has trouble editing the video once it's recorded. So like this week, I had to delay it by 2 days because of my computer. I have to edit it on my friend Ryan's computer instead, the co-owner of the site. Videos, just regular videos that aren't podcasts, haven't really taken off yet. I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on those just because I've been so focused on the other things. There's just a lot in my life going on right now, and I kind of decided to make videos more of a priority for later on. But we do have some example videos that are up right now that I think are great, and we'll have more of those in the future. There's also a segment I'm starting after Worlds called, I don't know what I'm calling it actually. I'm just, basically the idea is that I play against some of the game's top players. I'm going to try and get a set in against some of the biggest names in the game, like potentially Igor Costa, Clifton Go. I don't know if you guys know him, but he won nationals in Singapore. He's made top 16 at Worlds like 3 years in a row. He's an insanely good player. I'm hopefully going to get Jason Klosinski to play a set against me. I don't know if he'll be interested in that, but I'm going to ask him. And just all those big names like that. And then I can post those up every week on the channel. The other thing I want to mention is the Fun Podcast is not, we're not doing that right now. It was supposed to be just a free weekly piece of content for everybody, but it just hasn't worked really. We tried to do a couple episodes. We were kind of running out of topics. It wasn't very funny or entertaining. I don't know. I just didn't really like it very much. And it was kind of just a big pain in the butt, and we weren't really getting anything out of it. So for the time being, we're not going to do the Fun Podcast. We're just doing the weekly Pro Podcast. But we might bring it back later on. I'm not sure right now. There were also a lot of flaws with the site initially. We were having problems with people's membership, just bad links and things not going well. But I will say that almost everything is fixed right now. I think the only problem we're having sometimes is the image when you go to the homepage and like look at the articles. Sometimes the image is stretched, but that's a really just minor cosmetic thing. But pretty much all the site's problems are fixed right now, so that's really cool. So month 1 overall was a success. I think in the last video I made the estimation to have 0 to 5 paid subscribers, which didn't happen. Well, I mean it did happen because we got 0, but yeah, that didn't work out exactly the way I wanted it to. I just didn't have enough time to put into it because of classwork and things like that. That was supposed to be the advertising month. So month 2 is basically what I just finished, or I'm finishing today and tomorrow. The advertisement aspect of it didn't go exactly how we wanted. The idea was to go to nationals with flyers and hand them out and get a lot of advertisement out that way, because those are exactly the people that I want to target. Those are exactly the people that I want to take their website. Unfortunately, the flyers came in late, so I wasn't able to do them, but now I have 500 flyers that say nationals 16 on them, I think, and I'm going to take those to Worlds instead. It's going to be kind of weird because it says nationals instead of Worlds on it, but I'm going to hand those out then instead to try and get my money's worth with that. So I guess that month 3 will be a lot of advertisement as well. However, we did do a lot of good advertisement month 2. We had a free Bing ad service thing that we took advantage of. The first $100 worth of ads was free, so we had really good search results on Bing. And then we did an extra $40 on accident. We didn't mean to, but oops. A lot of the advertisement was actually done through Facebook, even more than I was expecting. So I requested likes from basically all my friends. I had people make a bunch of posts about the site. I post stuff on Verbank all the time, as you guys probably already know. Post stuff on my personal account and things like that. Somebody even told me that they found coaching for me just by Google searching. We've also made a focus on SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. So now if you type in cut or tap on Google as one word or as 3 words, you'll see our site as the first link, and it's not even a paid for thing. It's just that's the first link that comes up, so that's really, really, really good. We were waiting for that to happen for a while, and now we're getting the traffic to make it so that that is what comes up. And so because I didn't hand out those flyers with a coupon code on them at Nationals, we actually just decided to make our own coupon code available to everybody. So the coupon code is free month, one word. It's not capital sensitive, so you can do capitals or not. And if you type that in when you sign up for a Stage 2 membership, you get your first month completely free. So that's for everybody. You don't have to have a flyer or anything. You can do that right now if you aren't already signed up. You know, no pressure, feel free to do that. And it's free to cancel at any time, so if you want to just make an account, look at all the deck lists, take pictures of them, and then unsubscribe, you can totally do that. But it's probably not a good idea because you can take advantage of free content for like an entire month if you want to. The other thing that I said we were going to do is we're going to post forums, and forums are up. You can go to cuttertap.com/forums, and you can go to our forums and chat with people. We don't have a lot of activity yet because we haven't gone to a lot of effort to promote them yet. I've messaged a couple people saying that they should talk on them if they want, and I've made a couple posts and things like that, but they're pretty small right now, so if you guys are interested in debating with people on certain topics or have questions or just anything like that, you can go to CutterTap's forums and check those out. The idea of advertising with YouTubers is another thing that I mentioned in the initial video. We didn't do that. We might do that in the future, kind of putting that idea on hold for now, but we'll see. That idea was an effort to bring in less competitive and younger players to the site, but I think the way we're going to do that instead is implement a 4th subscription plan. So right now you have basic, stage 1, and stage 2. We're going to have another one. I'm thinking of just calling it beginner, but I'm not sure how much it's going to cost. The idea is really in its beginnings right now because I haven't put a lot of thought into it yet or anything. But the idea is basically to have content on the site that is directed towards a younger or newer audience, basically to give you the basics of the game so that you can understand how to play. It'll go from teaching you how to play the game at all up to like basically a lower level competitive level of play, basically something that can get you to play in like states and regionals, but probably won't give you the information to like win it or anything like that, like the articles and podcasts are directed to do. So it's kind of to give you your basics, your training wheels and things like that. We'll probably start working on that sometime in the next 30 days. I don't know. I don't expect it. It's coming at some point. On an unrelated note, we did have a lot of, well, we are currently, and we're going to have big names on the podcast in the future. So we had Chase Maloney as our first guest, which was awesome. He was a really cool guy. I just recorded a podcast with Bodie. And on this next week, we're going to have Israel Sosa. Probably, he said he might not be able to make it, and if we don't have him, we're going to have Connor, I don't know if it's Flinton or Finton, but that guy. And if Israel does make it, then we'll have Connor on the next week. However, I didn't get I didn't get those guests as quickly as I wanted to. I would have liked to have like multiple podcasts before, like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. I would have liked to already have had Israel on and maybe Connor on and have different guys. I think having the pro podcast at the level I want it to be is kind of rolling into something that's consistently going to happen in month 3 rather than in month 2. But we did make a lot of good progress on month 2. But like I said, I didn't have as much time month 2 as I wanted to have. So things that were supposed to happen in month 2 are kind of rolling into month 3 here. The news segment that I was talking about having before, I don't think that's really working out too well. I did one video and I watched it and I was like, this is okay. I'm thinking about doing more, but I'm kind of considering just discontinuing it. I don't think people really care that much about it. I think it's more of something that I would post on this channel, my MBSU X1 channel, because it's, I don't know. I just don't think it really fits in too well on CutterTap. Did not start incorporating other people making videos on CutterTap. Not even really considering that yet, so expect that to maybe happen month 3. I don't know, videos, like I said, we're kind of putting those off right now. Also, I also want to have special merchandise to be worn. I also want to have special merchandise to be worn by the CutterTap contributors and stuff like that at Nationals, but unfortunately I did not have the money to produce said merchandise, and that did not happen. Maybe it'll happen at Worlds. I hope it'll happen at Worlds, but I need to get on that really soon if I'm going to, and I'm not sure if I have the funds for that. We will see. I also was hoping to get like a site manager or somebody just to moderate the site besides myself, but I think I would rather just do it myself and not pay someone else to do that yet. I think pretty further down the line I'm going to start that. I want to have a lot of control over the site right now rather than trying to teach someone else how to run it. But maybe down the line, I think for now it's best if I just do most of it. And I would like to have that extra time to devote to other things. But next term, I'm going to be taking the term off of going to college to focus on the site. So I'm going to have a lot more time to do the stuff I wanted to do and manage the site. So I think I'm going to have time for both. If I don't, though, I will hire somebody else to help me with it. So my estimation by the end of month 2 was to have between 150 and 200 accounts made, which I now realize is really stupid. I should not have said it was going to be that high. When I realized, and when I looked at actually how many subscribers the other sites have right now, it's like that's dumb to think that. And then I also estimated that it would be between 25 and 50 paid subscribers. That number actually is getting pretty close. Right now, like I said, what did I say? I think we're at 14 or 13 right now. But we have a bunch of pending subscriptions that are probably going to be turned into subscriptions. I think it's going to be more like 20 to 25 by the end of this month, which isn't exactly where I want to be, but I'm pretty satisfied with that considering the amount of work that I didn't get to put into the site over the last month. The other major change is that it's looking like Stage 1 is pretty much obsolete. We're not even really using Stage 1 like we intended to. One of the big things was we wanted to make it so that we had another option for players, because all the other big sites only really have one option, is like the free account and then the paid for account. We wanted like a middleman type of thing, but Stage 1 is really, I don't think it's really where anyone wants to be right now. We're still going to keep the option open because it doesn't really hurt us to have it as an option, but I think pretty much everybody's going to be Stage 2, and the free month coupon code only applies to Stage 2 too, so I think actually every single one of our subscribers right now is a Stage 2 member. But like I said before, the site doesn't make any money with that low of subscribers. We need a much higher count for us to be actually making any money. Right now, I'm not even paying for my expenses because of that free month thing. So after the first free month ends with that coupon code, hopefully we'll still retain a lot of those subscribers. But right now, since I'm not getting any money from that, we're kind of struggling. The thing that is keeping it so that we can still fund the site is basically the amount of coaching clients I have right now and that check I'm getting from Nationals. Before I said I wasn't expecting to make any money. Before I said I wasn't expecting to make any money off of the site for the first 4 to 6 months, and what I mean by that is I don't expect to have all the debts paid off and to be able to cover the cost of contributors and things like that until 4 to 6 months from the launch of the site, and I'm going to extend that to more like 6 to 8 months. I know this video is basically a bunch of me saying, well, we're doing it, but a little bit later and a little bit worse. So that's kind of the main gist of the site, is basically making compromises. We've made so many compromises. Things never go perfectly, but that's just owning a business, owning a website, I guess. I didn't realize that at first. I was a little bit naive to the whole process. I thought I could make the whole site in 2 weeks on my own, which I now realize is hilarious. But yeah, I don't expect to pay back the loan that I took out for the site and all the other costs until probably 6 to 8 months from now, leaning towards 8 months. And then maybe, not 6 to 8 months from now, 6 to 8 months from the launch of the site. So maybe about 6 months from now, I will actually start pulling in a little bit of revenue from the site instead of just paying off debts and paying contributors. And so that moves us into month 3, what I'm about to start working on. And you guys know what happens month 3. Worlds is happening. Worlds is happening in like 20 days. Get hyped because Worlds is happening. I mean, it's going to be so... So before I said I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with month 3, I hadn't set ideas in stone yet. I wasn't for sure on what my plan was. But let me tell you, there are so many things I can do now. I am not at a loss for ideas or work or anything. I know exactly what I can do to make the site better. I know exactly what needs to happen. So I got a plan. So I'm super excited for Worlds, not only because I want to participate in it, but because of the effect it's going to have on the website. So what we are going to have soon, you guys should really be excited for this because I'm super excited for this, is we're going to have Dylan Bryan. Dylan Bryan, in my opinion, and in most people's opinion, the best writer in the world for Pokemon trading card game. We are going to have him writing for Cut or Tap. This is when you get excited. Yes, we're going to have Dylan Bryan, so I'm really hyped for that. And the reason why I wanted to get Dylan Bryan on the site before Worlds is because when we hand out those flyers that say Nationals, blah, 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 even though they should say Worlds, when we hand out those flyers, people will go to the site and be like, what? Dylan Bryan writes for Cut or Tap? So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm really happy that I don't have to invest in flyers once again. Kind of bittersweet because I didn't get to hand them out at Nationals, but I think it might be better timing now that we're going to have him actually to hand out flyers at Worlds. So I'm kind of cool with that, actually, even though that dang printing company got it to me a day late when they said 3-day shipping. I confirmed, paid extra for 3-day shipping, and they got it. And I haven't actually asked Dylan Bryan if he wants to wear a Cut or Tap shirt, if he's willing to use a Cut or Tap mat, but I'm hoping he will because I'm going to give those to him for free, and then hopefully it'll get streamed, or one of the other contributors will get streamed, and then more people will know about it, attract a bigger audience, and all that jazz.
You see the big players wear the shirts and the bats, and they want to be just like them when they grow up.
So I wanted to bring in a store by month 3, but I don't think that's going to happen. There's a lot of other things I want to work on first before we institute the store. Right now the store is me, as I said before. You just let me know if you want something and I'll ship it to you. You can PayPal cuttertap@gmail.com the money, and then that's how it works. But there really isn't a need for a store yet, just because of, you know, I'm just working as the store, and we're not seeing a ton of traffic on it yet. We're probably going to bring that in maybe month 4 or 5. I'm starting to give further estimates. I'm trying to give further estimates. Estimates? No, estimates. I'm trying to give like further down the line estimates, because I kind of got too ahead of myself in the last video. So I'm going to say maybe somewhere in month 4 we'll have that happen. And just so you guys know, when I say what's going to happen in further months, that's going off of the initial launch date. So I'm not saying 4 months down the line from now, I'm saying 4 months after when we launched, which was the 28th, which is the 28th of May. So 4 to 5 months after the 28th of May, we'll maybe have a store. That's what I'm hoping for. Not making any promises. I've let people down enough times already. And then another thing we're going to get month 3, this is going to go hand in hand. The other thing is an SSL certificate. We were hoping to get that by month 3, but that's probably going to come in about the same time as when we institute the store, because they are needed for each other. It's also needed if we're going to incorporate... It's also needed if we're going to incorporate Stripe, and Stripe is a system that lets you pay using debit and credit cards rather than just being able to use PayPal. I think that's going to make it a lot easier for people, because some people aren't good with PayPal. Some people don't have a PayPal. Some people think PayPal is a pain in your butt cheeks, and it really kind of can be. It's irritating me, but it's really the only option we have at the moment. So we'll probably bring Stripe in actually sooner than we bring in the store, because I think that's going to make it a lot easier for people to make accounts and things like that. It's also cheaper. Their like per subscription rate is cheaper than PayPal's. I don't know if you guys know this, but it costs money just to have a way for me to get the money. Like when I use PayPal, I never get the full 15 bucks. I get a portion of that 15 bucks because we're using PayPal to get the money. So Stripe does the same thing, except I get a bigger portion of the 15 bucks, except it costs more money to have Stripe at all. It's like 70 bucks, I believe, to have Stripe. And the other thing with Stripe is I have to have an SL certificate for them to be willing to work with me. So I think in the long term, Stripe will be about as expensive as using PayPal. I think it'll be about the same, but I think we'll make a lot more money by being able to by allowing people to use their debit cards and credit cards. And if you guys aren't familiar with what an SSL certificate is, it's basically just a government certificate thingy. It gives a little green lock next to the URL. You can probably see it on YouTube right now. There's a little green lock sign next to the YouTube URL, and it just means that this site is safe and secure, and you're good to like buy things from this site, or all this stuff is real legit. And then I don't know if you guys remember, but I talked about the CutterTap Elite Incentives program in the last video, which I made on the spot. And the CutterTap Elite Incentives program has not even been started yet. We don't have near the funds needed for that. And I think I said that before, that it's probably just a long-term idea. We're not instituting it yet. It's on the long laundry list of things I want to do, but cannot do yet. So that'll probably come later on down the road. If you guys don't remember, it's basically just a way to reward our contributors and anyone else that helps out the site for doing well. So we'll use, for example, if we used Daniel, and he is part of the CutterTap Incentives whatever thing, and he gets first place at a regionals. We go, hey, Daniel, you did really well. We're going to send you a check for money just because you did well. And then he goes, wow, this is awesome. CutterTap's the best thing ever. So, you know, sick. And that's basically the idea. And the reason why this is a good idea is because, number one, our contributors want to stay with us. They love us. They're never going to want to leave. Number two, we can attract new contributors, people that didn't initially want to write for CutterTap. Maybe they will be more willing to do so if they know about the program and they want to be involved in it. Number three, it makes it so that our contributors are more motivated to try harder at tournaments, more motivated to practice more, because they know there will be a higher reward for doing well. And number four, it gives more credibility to our current contributors. So because they're going to be more motivated to do well, they're probably going to do better. And then people are going to see their names more on Pokemon.com, they're going to see their names on Twitch, their names are going to be all over the place if we have a bunch of champions and things like that. And to a degree, I'm already kind of doing that, because when a contributor or a writer has a tournament report or like an example of a tournament that they did really well at recently, I end up paying them more for their article anyway. So it's kind of already what I'm doing, but I want to make it, I don't know, a little more formal, a little more organized, a little more just cleaner and better, I guess. I still do want to have exclusive merchandise that you can only get for making top cut or finals or top 4 at a tournament and things like that, like exclusive Cutter Tap merchandise that you can only get from that kind of thing, which I think will give a certain level of prestige to it. I don't know though, because I don't know if people like really care about Cutter Tap yet or think of it as like a, you know, a prestigious site to have anything from. They probably don't at this point, but I think later on down the road we will have that kind of level of respect, I suppose. I don't know the exact words for it. And then the estimation for month 3 was to have between 250 and 350 subscribers, not paid subscribers, just like members on the site at all. And I think that's a little big, because, you know, if you look at the community and how many people subscribe to other sites and how many people have memberships and things like that, I think that's a little bit high. I would estimate more around 200 and 250 at the most at the end of this coming month, the end of month 3, but we'll see. And I was also expecting like 50 to 100 paid subscribers. I think that's ridiculously too high for the end of month 3. I'm going to say more like 40 to 60, because sites don't grow that rapidly. We could just have like a huge burst at Worlds and then everyone signs up or something like that, but I'm not going to be that ambitious. I'm going to say more like 40 to 60 and try to be a little more realistic about it. Like I said before, I was kind of before I kind of expected things to be a little bit better than they were going to be, so now I'm a little bit more cynical now, I guess. So that covers everything that I talked about in the original 3-month plan video, so that's how everything went, basically. Like I said, I have a bunch of new ideas and things that I want to implement. I think I pretty much talked about all of them. I need to bring in videos, I want to bring in more stronger writers, I want to start the incentives program. I want to hopefully bring a fun podcast back or some kind of equivalent to it, something else so that we have more content we can upload to the site for free. Because I think right now we're kind of lacking in free content. There's not a whole lot you can get with a free membership, which I think isn't good, because we want to have something that attracts people that maybe don't want to subscribe yet, but still do like Cutter Tap. And then there's the store, the SSL certificate, Stripe, and several other things. So we have a lot of stuff to work on. I'm not really going to give specific months or dates for anything yet. I don't have like a specific 4 to 6 month plan right now, but I have a list of things that we're trying to add, and you know, they'll come up when they come up, basically. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you watching this long video again. I hope these are kind of funny. I try to be a little bit of a jokester to make it a little bit more entertaining. I don't know if I've succeeded. Let me know in the comments if you feel like it. Thank you guys for still sticking with my channel, even though I don't use it very much anymore. I like to use it more just for Cutter Tap updates, like I said I was going to do in the future. If you guys want me to post any videos or have any specific ideas for Cutter Tap, you can let me know in the description. But this channel is mostly just going to be used for updates on the site, other fun things I want to post, and things of that nature. I do, however, have a video I recorded from League against my friend Gabe, so I'm going to upload that. It's a really good set. I did it a little bit before Nationals. I just haven't gotten a chance to record audio over it, so I'm going to post that on the channel hopefully soon. I think that about wraps it up, guys. If you guys don't have a subscription, you can go to the site and use the free month coupon code now, or don't, you know, either way. You can contact me at cuttertap@gmail.com if you have any questions, inquiries, anything you want to know, just let me know at cuttertap@gmail.com. So that's about it. Thanks guys for watching. Like if you like the video, comment if you want to tell me something, and subscribe for more. But what the SSL certificate does not protect you from is me murdering your whole family and taking your cat. Daniel Attavilla, aka Mr. N, aka Pop Punk, aka Macklemore with gauges. What am I doing?